What's going on, gamer? So I was gonna just like this and have it to go into my likes to do something later, but then I figured, all right, let me go ahead and engage in this because this headline's a little bit misleading. But apparently Kepler L2 again, who we know had some leaks on other things, some people say is reliable, seems reliable, and share something about PlayStation 6 and Xbox. Now, if you just read this straight up, you would be deceived because it says next Xbox and PlayStation 6 is only 20% faster than the PS5. I'm like, no, because the PlayStation 5 Pro is faster than the PS5. So what are you talking about? Well, let's get into these details. So this was found off of a Reddit forum. Kepler L2, the PS6 and next-gen Xbox both use UDNA. UDNA is good. By the way, we can get into that. For GPU architecture. 2027 is most likely the launch date for both. I would say that's the earliest. But the next Xbox can release in 2026. Now that I see that, I'm just like, shut up. To get ahead of PS6, no, it doesn't make any sense. 20% performance gain over RDNA4 in rasterization and 2 times gain in ray tracing. AI, no 3D cache. Edit, my title means UDNA is 20% faster in rasterization over RDNA4 and 2 times in ray tracing. There you go, because that's better. Because if I went over here to get the overview, it's already up. People are saying it right here. We're going to get back to that in a second. Speculation about the PS6, because this is coming from PlayStation, by the way. And I guess they're just saying Xbox too, which I think they have different stuff, because nobody has said anything about that to that extent. You know what I mean? Speculation about the PS6 suggests that it could feature a 20% improvement in rasterization, which is like 3D rendering, you know? And ray tracing is like, how real can you make this light reflection and everything and all of that, which obviously is going to use more compute power compared to rasterization. So that's a difference. We're talking about rendering here, geometry. Compared to the previous RDNA4 architecture, because we're talking about that, not GPU, CPU, and RAM is just only a 20% improvement. That's not what that means, guys. So I'm explaining that. All right, like I'm subscribed, let's get into this. Let's continue. There's a rumor based on the anticipated capabilities of the next generation of AMD's GPU technology, potentially called UDNA, because you know that's going past RDNA4. It's basically like RDNA5. Now that they're going to move to UDNA, and they're going to jump to the next level. You know, kind of like how NVIDIA goes to Blackwell, and you know, all these sort of things. They're just taking their next leap. That is expected to be used in the PS6. Rasterization is a key technique in computer graphics that involve converting 3D models into a 2D image, which is then displayed on your screen. A 20% improvement in rasterization performance would mean that the PS6 will be able to render graphics faster and more efficiently. Speed and efficiency, along with improved ray tracing, path tracing. You know, they're just trying to add that in because technology is eventually going to have its limits of returns. You see what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, but you're starting to see graphical returns now. You're not going to be able to jump that much more higher. It's going to be hard as technology keeps getting bigger and bigger. So that's what we're seeing. So now that's why they have to add in stuff like ray tracing and all that to make it still be able to keep going. But yeah, it's just an improvement. So a 20% improvement in rasterization performance, like I said, it's not going to be too massive. You're going to start getting diminishing returns. Would mean that the PS6 would be able to do that a lot faster. The anticipated 20% boost is associated with potential 2 times improvement in ray tracing. So it's a combination together. And AI performance as well, which we know, improved PSSR, whatever Microsoft's doing, Nintendo has their DLSS stuff going. This suggests that the PS6 could see significant advancements in realistic lighting and shadows. Yes, because that's an improvement in ray tracing. You're going to start to see them do stuff like the PC could do. And now there's not going to be huge differences, except now PC will be able to do this now. Oh, yeah, you're doing that upscaling. I can do this natively and do it at a high frames per setting. That's literally all that's going to be. But like I said, it's going to get to the point where things look so damn good. Are you making good video games? Because that's what I care about. And then all this will be just nice to add on to that. Because that's just a finishing touch-up presentation. So that's what they're talking about here in terms of like lighting and shadow. That's realistic. That's going to be ray tracing when it comes to lighting, improved lighting and stuff like that. And like I said, speed and efficiency added onto that is rasterization. Now, so we can get an understanding, because I know there's people still growing up in school right now, probably watch some of my videos, people just getting out and don't know about what none of this means, and now you can get like a basic understanding. We're not going to go too nerdy on it, but just enough so you can know, okay, now I know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? The nerd talk. So it is important to note that these are rumors and speculations. I would say no, because UDNA is the next thing. So let's learn a little bit about this so we can know. AMD UDNA. It's not made up. So this is something that's also interesting. AMD's next UDNA is going to go up to 80 gigabytes of HDMI 2.2 connectivity. So this is the next thing. This will probably be for 8K TVs and all that stuff. Whether it be like you ready 8K full native, you know what I mean? 2.2 HDMI connectivity. And the next gen consoles could end up possibly coming with an HDMI 2.2 cable and start asking you to get 2.2 TVs so you can buy more TVs. You see how this all works together. So get ready for that, because right now it's telling you this. That get ready for 2.2 connectivity. So those are going to have to be new models coming out and are going to be expensive. Oh yeah, y'all. So hopefully these tariffs don't hit shit too hard, because that type of stuff is annoying. Now let's go to PS6. Just type this in. Let's see. This has been around for a while, guys. This is 7 months ago that people started talking about this. I covered this, and then they're going out of Zen 4 to Zen 5 and to Zen 6 for the CPU for Sony's upcoming handheld, and we'll use AMD hardware. And then we saw about that recently, about that happening. So it is true. It's been in the works. Nobody just talked about it. Leaks and rumors suggest that the PS6 will utilize AMD's next generation UDNA. Same thing with Xbox. Why would they not use it? So anything I'm saying that Sony's using, pretty sure Microsoft is getting their own UDNA as well. It's just going to be a little bit different. So this is going to be in line with NVIDIA's RTX 5000 series. So the PS6 is probably going to use something like a 5070. Same thing with Microsoft's next-gen console. They're probably going to do something like that. Something equivalent to something like that. Or, you know, somewhere along that ballpark, or 4070 Ti. You never know. AMD equivalent, whatever that's going to be. You know what I mean? So you can expect that. And this was back in 2024, by the way. AMD UDNA Radeon Gaming GPUs rumored to enter mass production in Q2 2026. You can't release a console when you're mass productioning in Q2 2026. I'm kind of glad I ran into this. Now you have your window here, guys. Do you think that a console that is going to, where chips are getting mass production in Q2 2000, that means late summer or summer 2026, that's going to somehow be launching then? And they didn't even reveal it. So you get the idea now. It's not going to be coming till, at the earliest, 2027. Anything you hear about 2026, ignore those people. Finish your generation first. How are you going to be done next gen already? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's stupid, y'all. So here it is right here. Now let's continue this. The comment he replied to: never doubt Mark Cerny, probably a pony. He's good though. He's been on Sega for a while, so I gotta give him his credit. He still believes in a traditional dedicated console. PS6 will double, triple, quadruple down on AI upscaling. Oh boy. And ray tracing. He already hinted at that during the PS5 Pro Tech Talk. Yeah, I mean, they're working with Amethyst and all that, so expect that type of stuff. Both PS6 and Xbox are using the same GPU architecture to this, so this is true for both of them. Like I said, they're both going to be using UDNA because they're using AMD. Why would they not? Given that they use the same architecture and therefore have the same earliest date constraint, how far apart do you believe the respective launches will be? Also, how do you think the overall project timelines compare in terms of start date to release? Both are likely 2027, which he thinks at the earliest. That's what I mean, which I think is at the earliest. But I do know, and other people have mentioned, that Microsoft, and then there's nothing else after that, because I don't know where the hell this thread is at. I couldn't find it. So let me know if you ever find this thread. Why are people expecting, you know, it will just be slightly more powerful PlayStation 5 Pro? If you want a 6 now because you're sick of picking between quality or performance, get a Pro. No. PC Master Race wins. I don't really believe this because the PS5 Pro is like 20% faster. See, people are confused by the headline, but that's not what he was saying. what they were saying is that it's rasterization and ray tracing improvement. Not that the GPU, the CPU, and the RAM are only going to be 20% faster. No, that's stupid. So yeah, there we have it. This is something to talk about real quick. Let me know what you guys think about this. I believe that this makes sense. It's very believable. Definitely after backtracking and seeing the information that we had months ago and seeing all this right here. So remember, y'all, Q2 2026 to enter mass production. I mean, you need at least a year or something to do that at 6 months minimum. So yeah, 2027 at the earliest. Now we have this window since we understand this. So yeah. All right, y'all. Peace out. There we go. Ponies. So I gotta do it. Later, y'all.